Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here with me today. In today's video, we're diving into a fascinating topic from Stoic philosophy: how to accept life as it is and love what we have, no matter the circumstances. Marcus Aurelius once said about 5 things in a relationship. 1. Love the reason, not the person who gives you reason. The quote, "Love the reason, not the person who gives you reason," reflects a deep Stoic principle that can be interpreted as focusing on the deeper values, virtues, and principles that support love, rather than being overly attached to or dependent on the individual providing that love. In Stoicism, one of the core teachings is to focus on what is within your control and to let go of what is outside of it. This extends to relationships and love. While you cannot control the actions, feelings, or behavior of others, you can control how you engage with them and how you interpret love itself. When Marcus Aurelius says, "Love the reason," he's suggesting that you should prioritize the virtues or values that lead to genuine love, such as kindness, honesty, loyalty, and respect, rather than focusing on the individual who may come and go, or may not always behave in ways you expect. You focus on the why, the underlying principles and qualities that make love meaningful and worthwhile. This allows love to be less fragile and more enduring because it's rooted in values that remain constant, regardless of external circumstances. Imagine a situation where someone you love behaves in a way that disappoints you, perhaps by being distant, selfish, or unkind. Instead of focusing on the flaws or actions of the person, which are beyond your control, you choose to focus on the reason you loved them in the first place. The virtues they embodied when they were loving, the way they once treated you with respect and care, or the shared principles that brought you together. For example, let's say you're in a romantic relationship, and at times your partner seems cold or neglectful. A Stoic approach would not focus on why they are acting this way, since we cannot control their actions, but rather on the principle of love itself. Maybe it's the understanding that love involves accepting imperfections, showing patience, or the desire for growth. In this way, you don't attach your emotional well-being to their behavior, but rather to your ability to embody and appreciate love as a virtue that remains constant. In romantic relationships, if your partner becomes distant or argumentative, you focus on why you fell in love with them, perhaps their kindness, integrity, or the deep connection you once shared. You don't let their current behavior define your love for them. Instead, you focus on what made you love them, which can help you approach difficult situations with calm and understanding. In friendships, if a friend betrays your trust or lets you down, rather than focusing on the pain caused by their actions, you reflect on the reasons why you valued the friendship in the first place. It was likely the honesty, the shared experiences, or the mutual support that initially drew you together. This helps you respond with understanding, perhaps even forgiving them, rather than letting their actions determine how you feel about the friendship. 2. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive. To think, to enjoy, to love. The quote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive. To think, to enjoy, to love," by Marcus Aurelius emphasizes gratitude and the privilege of simply being alive and experiencing the full range of life's joys, including love. It encourages us to start each day with a sense of appreciation for the opportunity to live, to connect with others, and to enjoy meaningful relationships. This quote is a reminder that life itself is a gift. Many of us wake up in the morning with a long list of tasks, concerns, and worries, but Marcus Aurelius suggests that we begin our day by focusing on what we have, the privilege to experience life and to love. In Stoic philosophy, this idea of appreciating the present moment is central. It reminds us that, no matter the challenges or setbacks we might face, simply being able to think, feel, love, and enjoy life is a privilege in itself. By starting your day with this mindset, you orient yourself towards gratitude and mindfulness. It encourages a perspective shift. Instead of focusing on what's wrong or what's lacking, you focus on what is beautiful and valuable in the present moment. Imagine waking up to the sound of your alarm. It's easy to immediately think of everything you have to do, work, responsibilities, or even difficulties in your relationships. However, applying Marcus Aurelius' wisdom, you pause for a moment. You realize that the very act of waking up, being able to think, and having another day to live is a privilege. You take a deep breath and think about the people you love or who love you in return. You may even take a moment to be thankful for the little things, like the warmth of your bed, the air you breathe, or the connection you have with others. 3. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. The quote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury," by Marcus Aurelius carries a deep Stoic lesson about how to respond to harm or mistreatment. Instead of seeking revenge or trying to get back at someone who wronged you, Marcus suggests that the highest form of response is to behave in a way that reflects your own virtues, showing grace, dignity, and self-control. In other words, your response should be grounded in your values rather than in retaliation or negative emotions. In Stoicism, the focus is always on controlling your own actions, thoughts, and emotions. While you can't control how others behave, you always have control over your own behavior. When someone injures or wrongs you, the Stoic perspective would be to not let that injury dictate your actions. Instead of sinking to their level and responding with anger, revenge, or hostility, you rise above it by maintaining your integrity and virtuous behavior. This concept reflects the Stoic virtue of apatheia, which is the ability to remain unaffected by negative emotions or external events, especially those that would provoke a less virtuous response. The best revenge, according to Marcus Aurelius, is not to mirror the harm you received, but to remain true to your own principles and act with kindness, wisdom, and composure. By doing so, you deny the other person the power to control your emotions and behavior, and you prove that their injury has not swayed you from your values. It's a form of strength to not engage in revenge, and it reflects maturity and wisdom. Example, Scenario 2, personal relationship. Let's say a friend betrays your trust by sharing something personal you told them in confidence. You feel hurt and angry, and the temptation to distance yourself or respond with words of hurt is strong. However, following Marcus' advice, you choose to respond with grace. Instead of retaliating or seeking revenge, you calmly explain how their actions have affected you, without attacking their character. You set boundaries in the relationship but maintain respect and composure. By doing so, you are demonstrating that you will not let their betrayal control your emotions or actions. Over time, your ability to forgive and remain virtuous will either heal the relationship or help you move on in a way that doesn't diminish your integrity. 4. Just that you do the right thing. The rest is indifferent. The quote, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest is indifferent," by Marcus Aurelius encapsulates a key Stoic principle. Focus on doing what is morally and ethically right, and don't get overly attached to the outcomes or the reactions of others. In the context of love and relationships, this means that you should act with integrity, kindness, and respect in your interactions, regardless of how others respond or what results come from your actions. This quote highlights the Stoic idea that you have control only over your actions, not over how others behave or how situations unfold. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, Marcus Aurelius advises that you should focus on your own behavior and intentions, ensuring that your actions align with your values and principles. The results, such as how the other person reacts or whether the relationship succeeds or fails, are ultimately out of your control. By doing the right thing, acting with honesty, compassion, understanding, and respect, you maintain your integrity. The rest, such as whether your actions are appreciated, reciprocated, or lead to the desired outcomes, is indifferent because it lies beyond your influence. This mindset helps to free you from unnecessary emotional stress, as you stop trying to control or manipulate the reactions of others. In a romantic relationship, imagine you are in a romantic relationship where your partner is going through a tough time, perhaps due to work stress or personal struggles. You could respond with anger or frustration, feeling that their behavior towards you is distant or cold. However, following Marcus' advice, you focus on doing the right thing, being patient, understanding, and supportive. You listen to their concerns, offer your help, and give them space when they need it. The outcome of your actions may not immediately change your partner's behavior, or they might not show gratitude right away. But according to Stoicism, your responsibility is to do the right thing by showing compassion, even if your partner does not reciprocate. You are acting in line with your values, acting with love and patience, and not worrying about how they respond. The rest is indifferent. Whether or not they change or appreciate you is outside your control. 5. Accept what is your fate, and love what is in your life. The quote, "Accept what is your fate, and love what is in your life," by Marcus Aurelius encourages a Stoic approach to love and life, which is to accept reality as it is and embrace what you have rather than resisting or wishing for things to be different. In the context of love and relationships, it suggests finding peace and contentment in the relationships you have, even if they are not perfect or as you initially envisioned. The core of this message is about acceptance and embracing the present rather than focusing on external factors beyond your control. In Stoicism, there is a key teaching. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This quote reflects that wisdom, suggesting that instead of fighting against the challenges, imperfections, or unpredictability of life and love, we should focus on accepting and making the best of them. Whether you are in a relationship or facing life's many ups and downs, the idea is to stop fighting against what you cannot change and instead appreciate what you do have. This mindset leads to peace of mind and emotional resilience, as it removes the stress of constantly trying to control or change external circumstances. Imagine you are in a romantic relationship and your partner has some traits or behaviors that frustrate you. Perhaps they are forgetful, occasionally distant, or have habits that irritate you. According to the Stoic perspective, instead of constantly feeling upset or trying to change these aspects of your partner, which are outside of your control, you accept them for who they are, knowing that no one is perfect. You focus on the positive qualities of the relationship and learn to embrace their imperfections, as they are part of your partner's nature. By accepting these flaws, you avoid unnecessary frustration and disappointment. You find peace in loving your partner for who they truly are, without demanding that they fit your idealized vision of perfection. This doesn't mean tolerating toxic behavior, but rather accepting the natural imperfections that come with human relationships and finding joy in the connection you have. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I am thankful for you joining us, and until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and never stop seeking wisdom.